Welcome back to Herb-O-Matic. So far in the bomb shelter elevator project, when we tried to open the door, this gargoyle came to life, so that was pretty cool. Then we looked inside and we saw that it used to have stairs, but stairs are the leading cause of death in the whole world, so we decided to make an elevator. So we stole this from a shipyards in California, that's why the boats are all backed up. But it was manually operated, nobody likes it when a man stands behind him and cranks it in the elevator. So we decided to convert it to electric hoist, and it was a direct fit with no modifications necessary, so that was pretty cool. And then we rode it up into space to capture Starlink satellite so we can get free internet. This guy saw us stealing internet, so he's threatened snitch, so we cut his head off. Because, you know, snitches get stitches. And then we started a C-clamp factory, but it caught on fire, and the whole thing was leveled. And then we bought a Mountain Dew out of the soda machine. We rode this sweet jet ski, so that was pretty fun. And then we had a race between the elevator and the ladder, and the elevator totally smoked ladder. Ladder didn't go anywhere. And we put them in a pen together to see if they'd make babies. And then we found this yo-yo, so we started playing with that, and that was pretty cool, but we didn't know any tricks, and then it jammed on us, so we threw it away. And then we stole the wheels off the neighbor's Jeep. This guy saw us do it, so we put the pressure on him with the C-clamp, and then when that didn't work, we decided to get creative and add a little heat to his nut there, and that shut him up pretty good. And then we were ashamed of his weld, so we decided to grind it down because a grinder and paint makes us the welder we ain't, or at least that's what my internet dad AVE told me. The elevator played with the yo-yo, and so it turned out it wasn't broken. And we saw what happens to people who watch the videos but don't subscribe. They get super atomic wedges on the super atomic wedging machine here. So in this video, we're going to add the limit switch and a few details to the frame and get the whole project painted. So stay tuned, or this could happen to you. Subscribe. Okay, now we got to figure out is when the elevator gets to the top, it hits this crossbar here, and then the cable just keeps getting tighter and tighter, and you could destroy the winch or break the cable or something. Can't be good. What it originally had was the cable had a ring on it, and when it got to the top, it would push that, and it would depress this little switch. Okay, see this little white switch right there? This depresses it. So what I want to do is find a way to depress this lever when the elevator gets to the top. There it is. Let's see if we can have something that hits that ledge hits a lever that knocks it back and sends a rod down here to go activate that thing. Got a whole mess of this 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch tubing that was for a project that never came to fruition. Okay, here's our basic ingredients. We've got some scrap to make our fulcrum points. We've got 10 32nd screws here and nuts. And we've got our 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square tubing. All right, I want to use a carriage bolt at the end here where that ledge comes up and hits this rod, because the carriage bolt has a nice rounded head and it'll give us some adjustability. Okay, our trip lever is going to sit on this ledge. So we'll make our fulcrum point 3 inches off of this. All right, let's pick a thickness here. This is 1/8. It's mighty thin. It's probably a 1/16. Let's use this stuff here. This one's bent. Before we attach this, let's put a little washer on either side to help it pivot. Gosh, dang it. Okay, you can see how it works. As the elevator comes up, pushes that lever. Now we need to make a rod that goes from here down to about here. So let's measure that. Looks like 86 inches. You can put a washer in between to minimize the rubbage. That's probably where that word comes from. Okay, our rod's hooked up now. Okay, let's go hook up the other end. Okay, so ideally what we'll do here, could almost do that, and we just put a strap around it. But would that be dirty? Would that be dirty to just, would it be that easy? Oh, I made a mistake. It's currently in the deflected position, and our rod is not long enough. See, I measured from the extended position, and I should have been measuring from this position. It only needed to be like an inch, like an inch longer. Look at that. Came up an inch short, fellas. Let's put a piece that comes over and pushes down on it so that our rod isn't angling the whole time. Actually, let's figure out how we're going to how we're going to capture this thing. What do you think the diameter of that is? I think that's like 7 millimeters? 8 millimeter. All right, so let's see if we can find like a 10 millimeter bolt. What size is this? Look at that, 9.4 millimeters. So let's use this as our form. This steel here is fairly thin. Let's cut a piece of that. So what happens when you never clean your bandsaw? Man, I need to change that bandsaw blade. It's getting ridiculous. I think it's just rubbing the pieces, just rubbing them in half.
All right, we've got our new rod installed. Let's go ahead and start bringing up the carriage, see what happens here. It is preventing it from bottoming out at the top there. Oh yeah, see, this is all locked up right now. The inertia of the carriage and the speed and everything is causing the, it's bottoming out over here, and then it's causing the rod to bow towards the sides there. On this end, I want to make a couple adjustments. First thing I want to do is bring our adjustment bolt up. It's about right there. All right, let's see how that affects our operation. It's higher than I would like it, so let's adjust our bolt outwards a little bit. Let's try it on the far extreme to see what our adjustment range is. You see that we're an inch from the top or so? Even after making those adjustments, this bar is slamming the side. It cuts the motor off, but the inertia carries it just a little bit further, and this moves just so much. So let's go ahead and blow a couple more holes in that bracket or in that arm. I almost feel like a hole. We got to put a hole in between here, here, and we're going to need more holes going along here. That didn't work at all. I went down to the hardware store and I grabbed a 6-inch carriage bolt. Now we don't necessarily need it that long, but we can always lob off the extra. Oops, I think we immediately bent our bolt.
And then I lost my mind, kept trying the same thing, and bent all these bolts. All right, 1 shake, 2 shake. Anything past that's oh, that's a sin. You can't hide from sin. I don't know how you're doing that, but it's a sin. This turned out to be a pretty frustrating little adjustment here, and I lost my stuff.
All right, I can't get my drill an inch down without getting that weird angle. So let's go ahead and pull out the Milwaukee. And they've got this red racing stripe, I guess, that makes them better. All right, let's grab our deburring tool. Just a big honking drill bit. Well, that sucked. All right, I added this plate to extend the range that our bolt can rock on.
1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, stop it. All right, we got it working. So here's a few angles of the doing this job. And so I fully weld our fulcrum point in. It's been tacked the whole time. And I remake the rocker arm so it has fewer holes. It looks a lot better.
All right, now we need to add some shims to level the bottom. This is going to be sitting on the ground, so we need to figure out this distance here so we can add some shims up here on both sides. That's it right there. Okay, so our formula is to stack these two like that. These are scraps from some other project. They're 1/4 inch thick. I have to put some counter squeeze on this side because if you don't, and you go to tighten this, it just goes like that. It's no bueno. Now they're the same size, which doesn't matter at all because you'll never see them. Now we have to cut out this stuff. Oh no. It's too fat in two ways. Okay, we got our spacers. We'll just anchor it down with a couple of these. My welder, best welder, because NASCAR, because custom paint job. All right, earlier when we did testing, we saw that the cable that comes off this pulley passes within like a 1/16 of an inch of this bar here. I'm worried as the bushing wears, the cable will rub. So let's add a little extra clearance. You can see here where I marked where the cable passes. Okay, this looks like hell. Now we have a nice relief for our cable so it never rubs, even if our pulley bushing wears a little bit. Okay, she's disassembled and up on some sawhorses, ready for sanding and paint. I want to try these new sand nets from Diablo. I don't know how new they are, but I haven't used them yet. Our pad looks pretty tired after doing about half of it. guys can get this merch on the website. It's not been selling real well, so let's get some rags out of it. I can't understand why nobody's buying it. I just can't understand why people don't think the pants are beautiful. And this will get any kind of residue or fingerprints or goop off of there, so the paint has a nice surface to stick to. Okay, we're done wiping it down. Time to dispose of the rags properly. There we go. Oops. Okay. Well, that was dumb. Okay, all we gotta wait for now is the paint thinner to dry. I gotta get out of here. I gotta turn the vent on. Plan is to hit all the bare metal with a little primer and spray the rest of it with this aluminum paint. Now, I can't film too much of it because I don't want to get paint all over my camera and stuff. Okay, here's the end result. It's metallic aluminum and it looks amazing. Painted it metallic aluminum to match some of the existing aluminum paint they have down there on the I-beams. Okay, I'd put down a layer of dust to protect my floor from paint, and also this piece of tape here is keeping paint off of there. Perfect. Looks real good.